I say this, Brew, with no biases whatsoever, okay? Dripping in integrity, take integrity, and truth and honesty. It would make sense with the Lakers, but not with anybody else. I really just think, it's the only, I think you would need the steady hand of LeBron to make sure that, I just think you need an established leader to make sure that all hands on deck can work. If you don't have LeBron around to be the adult in the room, then I think the fact that Kevin Durant might want to continue to play with Kyrie Irving is one of the most baffling, indefensible. I guess he's a great friend. I guess as Wildes would say, the be kind version, the glass half full version is KD, greatest friend ever. Ride or die, baby. True. Hey, we built this whole thing in Brooklyn. I set up my entire empire out here, and you burnt it to the ground, Kai. Let's go see if someone else will take us. I don't think, in reality, I think LeBron, KD, and Kyrie would be such a dynamic trio that it would work, and LeBron would make sure things are held together. So I do mean that to a degree. But other than there, KD, you can't be with this guy anymore. This is, if it were a relationship, this is where KD's other friends would, be like, hey, buddy, let's get together. And he walks in the room. He's like, is this an intervention? And they're like, it is. Right. You guys, it's right. Toxic, man. It's no good. I know where your heart is. I know you have these great memories. I know what you think it could be. It's not going to be that. And so I think it is, of all the news yesterday, Brew, the most shocking was when Wendy and Woj both said, KD would like to keep playing with Kyrie, just not in Brooklyn. It is, so yeah, I do think with the Lakers it would be unbelievable. I can't, but I'm semi-joking, but not really. I think LeBron's the only personality in the league strong enough to hold that together. I think every other team, it would just be the Nets moved there. And that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, no, I think it's a bad idea. Except for the Lakers, where I think it's a great idea they win a bunch of titles. So Pelinka should probably make it happen.
Nick, I agree. I agree. If they go to the Lakers and team with LeBron, sure. Yeah. I'll take that. There is nowhere else on planet Earth I would want these two playing together. Nowhere. Not Team USA. Nothing else. I don't even want them in an all-star game together. All right, go to different conferences. All right, don't pick each other when you pick teams. All right, and you're right, Nick. Kevin Durant. Let me say this. This is not about loyalty. Okay, because if he were loyal, he would at least give the Nets one more season. At least. The Nets have committed, guys, $312 million to Kevin Durant. And we talk about Kyrie only playing 103 games out of a possible 226. Guess how many Kevin Durant's played? 90. 90.
That's amazing.
And they gave him $300 million.
Amazing.
You talk about, at the very least, show us the respect of giving us a season. That's all, and especially when we gave you a roster that on paper is as good as any out there. Nick, I think you would agree. The moves they made yesterday, Nick Claxton, Patty Mills, Royce O'Neal, those are good moves if you got KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons engaged, and Seth Curry and Joe Harris.
You're right.
So
you're right.
This is not about loyalty. This is about, again, KD being a follower. And Kyrie Irving has KD in the palm of his hand. Because not only for KD to want to play with Kyrie still, Wildes, after all the hiatuses Kyrie's taken for family issues, for national tragedies, after him not getting vaccinated like an Andrew Wiggins did, and wow, look how it worked out for Wiggins. After him saying, I will bail on you. I know we came here together to build it. I wanted to come here. You were iffy, but you came with me. After all that, I'll go play with LeBron again. I'm out of here, buddy. I'm going to play with LeBron and the Lakers. After all of that, KD's still following behind Kyrie. I mean, gosh. It's just frustrating. So, yeah, I'm with you, Nick. The only place it works is the Lakers. That's it.
Okay. Just for the record, when Kyrie opted back in, the Nets' championship odds were amongst the best in the league. So if KD and Kyrie want to play together, Nick, they're literally on the same team right now. So you can say it's about respect, that the organization, let them down and they need to leave. Man, if I'm Steve Nash or if I'm KD or Rich Kleiman, I say, you know what? Everybody over to my house. Guess what we're going to pop in the DVD of? We got it from Kevin Wildes himself. The Last Dance. Oh, what is The Last Dance about? A great team with a bunch of superstars who were revolting against management that wasn't showing them the respect. So they all got together and said, you know what? It's the last dance. Let's give it one more run, fellas, and then break up. If they're serious about wanting to play together, they've got the ideal situation. It's like they don't know it. The grass isn't greener in Phoenix. It's too hot. The grass is greener here. If they want to actually stay, they should do it. If they want to play together, they should stay.
Couple issues there. The first one is you got to find someone who has a DVD player, which is very hard these days. Come on, showing your age there. It's video on demand. Come on, not popping in DVD.
We just have a lot. Honestly, we have 50
I even know that, Wildes. I even know that.
All right. But so here's the problem. Here's the thing. Because I am not holding out hope that, and hope's the wrong word. I am not holding any belief that Kevin Durant's going to play for the Nets. I thought this was done, that this whole thing was blown up 10 days ago. And then briefly it looked like, they're going to run it back one more year, but now it's blown up. But I do think it is fascinating, Brew, that they are not running it back one more year. That I think you guys focusing on that point, you and Wildes, I think is smart, and I think it's relevant, and I think it is, I can't wait for someone, one of the people that covers this team on a day-to-day basis, to write the full, epitaph of this. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. But the full autopsy of what happened here. Because it made sense. KD demanding a trade made sense when for a moment it was like, he really is done with Kyrie. He doesn't want to be associated with it. Right. He thinks it's going to be too much mayhem. He thinks Kyrie is going to cause that this year is dead before it starts, so I don't want to waste another year of my prime. But now that it's been reported he still wants to play with Kyrie, it is very odd to me that I think it's about disrespect, but I also think it is somewhat indefensible that they are not simply saying, let's do this year, try to win the title, and Kyrie, if you still want to leave, you leave, and I can demand my trade then. If KD can demand a trade with 4 years left, it's not like he couldn't demand a trade with 3 years left. So that is the weirdest part of this whole thing, Brew, that they're not, they were, to Wildes' point, the favorites in the Eastern Conference. The second best odds to win the championship were the Brooklyn Nets.
It's not about winning.
We woke up yesterday morning. So that part to me, Brew, is we need to peel more layers of it. It's the most fascinating element of this whole thing.
Well, Nick, I agree with a lot of that. The one thing I disagree with you on, I don't think KD is feeling disrespected. I think Kyrie's feeling disrespected. KD could have easily released a tweet. He could have had Kleiman just leak it to some writer. He went to Joe Tsai and talked to him privately. That shows some respect, I assume. I feel like. I think this is Kyrie feeling disrespected and KD going along with it.
Out of
because it's like you said, that's what I think this is. And I got to say this. Kyrie, now he spends his summers in LA. So he thinks he's going to be happy out there. While I agree with you that the one team that should try to make this happen would be the Lakers, and by the way, if I'm the Nets, there's not a deal the Lakers can come up with straight up. Maybe if it's a 3 or 4 team deal, but I'm not taking Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook for KD and Kyrie. That's not enough because I don't want Westbrook and Anthony Davis is injury prone. So I need more than that. I'm not doing that. But I think LeBron could make it where he certainly had the best chance of anybody. But, man, Kyrie still would be a wild card. Kyrie hasn't been happy anywhere. Neither is KD. They haven't been happy anywhere. Kyrie wasn't happy winning championships with LeBron. Wasn't happy having his own team in Boston. Isn't happy playing with one of his best friends in his hometown for the team he grew up rooting for. I think he'd be happy initially. Oh, yeah, this is great. We're going to run it back. We should have never left. And then over time, he probably begin being unhappy again. And maybe would derail that thing out in L.A. So it's just a mess all the way around.
Kyrie was happy 2 months ago. His exit press conference, if you will, was talking about him and KD being cornerstones of the franchise, and they would build together, and it would motivate them for next year. That was 2 months ago.
So what happened?
So I think that right now we're looking back on like all of the flaws in this fight, and this fight, and this fight. Man, 2 months ago it was good, and that was post-sweep.
That same thing.
So something that has happened in the last 2 months where the knot has come untied, and it feels like a mess. I just think that Joe Tsai can redo it. Then give him the deal. Problem solved.
But
Joe Tsai got enough money.
But here's the. I don't think they said they were prepared to lose them both. Remember, that was the other windy report. They were prepared to lose them both rather than give Kyrie control. But you mentioned Kyrie's end-of-season press conference. This is something I've tweeted out a half dozen times over the last few years. But I would suggest anyone go back and watch Kyrie's press conference after Game 5 of the Finals in 2017. After they lose the Finals in 2017. Kyrie's final words as a Cav. He does a 2-minute tribute to LeBron James. Says how this man just averaged a triple-double in the final, how this man, you guys keep doubting him, how he is excited about continuing to learn from him, play alongside him, and see what they can do. And within 6 weeks, Jenna, he demanded a trade and threatened to have surgery if they wouldn't do it because he was so upset about playing with LeBron. Nothing had changed.
Weird.
So Kyrie, the commercial. I hope you guys retire my jersey in Boston. I hate being here. Jenna, it's just who he is.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.